The Miami Dolphins charge up the start of their season in LA. No Messi, no problem. Inter Miami plays their first game without Lionel Messi. The Miami Hurricanes getting revenge against Texas A&M on a rainy day. All of these stories and more coming up on The Sideline. Hello, South Florida, and welcome to The Sideline, the place where you get all the highlights for your South Florida teams. I'm Kenneth Bueno.
And I'm Anthony Cruz, and The Sideline starts now. College football season is underway, and the Miami Hurricanes found themselves in a rainy skirmish against the Texas A&M Aggies.
Sideline's Pablo Hernandez takes you into the storm of Week 2's matchup.
We're here at the Hard Rock Stadium where the University of Miami will take on the Texas A&M football team. Although the weather is not ideal, a little bit of rain has never stopped the Hurricanes. Fans are very important when it comes to any sports team, especially in football. Tailgating is one of the most unique aspects that football brings within its fan culture, and the University of Miami is very familiar with tailgating.
The tailgate is fantastic. It's pouring, but we still have fans out here, man. Our fans are loyal, they support. We haven't been good for a few years, but we're here strong. Tailgate's full.
I've been tailgating with my group of friends here for 30 years, okay? We have not missed a season, a game in 30 years. So for us, it's a part of the culture, it's a part of the game, it's part of everything we do. It's what we love about being a part of the UM football program.
This may only be the second game of the season, but there is a lot at stake for both the Hurricanes and the Aggies with this matchup. Win or loss could mean big changes within the rankings of college football.
Last year, Miami fans were really disappointed, so I think if we win today, it's going to bring a lot of excitement to the football team.
I think the winner of this game is either going to be catapulted in a dramatic way going forward, or the loser of this game is going to have a very, very difficult year going forward.
Playing against a ranked team today, so if we beat them, I'm sure we'll be ranked somewhere in the 20s. But it's a pretty big step for us if we win today.
The Miami Hurricanes came out victorious against the Texas A&M Aggies 48-33 on Saturday afternoon. With that victory, the Miami Hurricanes are now ranked 22nd in the nation. The University of Miami will host Bethune-Cookman University here at the Hard Rock Stadium at 7:30 p.m. Eastern next Thursday. For Caplin News, this is Pablo Hernandez.
Miami Hurricanes junior star safety Cameron Kitchens was carted off after suffering a scary injury. Fortunately, Kitchens confirmed via X he was okay and shared a few words of positivity regarding the incident, saying, quote, "I want to thank everyone for the prayers. I'm doing better. Love y'all."
The Miami Dolphins barely survived the Week 1 shootout against the Los Angeles Chargers with the 36-34 victory to open Year 2 under Coach Mike McDaniel. QB Tua Tagovailoa had himself a ball game, throwing for 3 touchdowns and 466 yards. That is the 4th most in a season opener in NFL history. 2 of those were the wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who had 11 catches for 215 yards. Miami's defense struggled most of the game, but sacked Chargers QB Justin Herbert twice on their final drive to seal the win for the Dolphins. Miami moves on to face division rival New England Patriots on the road next Sunday.
For those who question just how good this new-look Inter Miami team really is, hopefully this weekend's 3-2 win against Sporting Kansas City provided some answers. Miami entered the game missing 9 players out on international duty, including the GOAT, Argentinian star Lionel Messi. But those who were able to suit up gave their Herons a massive lift to their MLS Cup playoffs chase. Leonardo Campana was the lone striker and chipped in 2 goals of his own before Facundo Farias scored Miami's 3rd to put the game out of reach for Kansas City. With 8 games to go, Miami sits 6 points out of the final playoff spot. Next up, they face the Atlanta United at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday.
There was Miami Heat representation in both FIBA World Cup games over the weekend, but unfortunately for fans, neither coach Eric Spoelstra nor 2022 first-round pick Nikola Jovic woke up this morning with the gold. The U.S. entered their 3rd-place game against Canada pretty short-handed, missing Jaren Jackson Jr., Brandon Ingram, and Paolo Banchero. They got off to a slow start, but Mikal Bridges would send the game into overtime by rebounding his own missed free throw and hitting a leaning corner 3, but the U.S. would still fall short. The final score was Canada 127, United States 118. Serbia and Germany was closer throughout, but FIBA MVP Dennis Schroeder and Franz Wagner helped the Germans finally pull away late into the third. Avromanovic would be the catalyst for a Serbian comeback that would put the game at one possession for the final minute of regulation. But Schroeder would ice it with a smooth double cross into a finger roll to put the final score at Germany 83, Serbia 77. As the MLB season strides towards the postseason, the Miami Marlins are floating around the wild card spot, and every win is crucial.
Why don't we bring in Jamie Nunez for a deep dive on the Marlins' push for the playoffs? Jamie, where do the Marlins sit right now?
The Fish are fresh off a huge series win against the Philadelphia Phillies, the team on top of the NL wildcard race. Both wins were delivered in comeback fashion, as the Fish are still a half game out of the final wildcard spot in the NL. In the first win, an unlikely hero, catcher Jacob Stalling, stepped up to the plate in the top of the seventh to deliver a 370-foot home run for the go-ahead lead to win the game. For the second win, the Fish found themselves down 3 in the 7th inning when the bats got going and tied things up. Then, Jesus Sanchez saved the day in the 8th with a 421-foot two-run home run to cap off the series win. The Marlins continue to fight for the last spot in the NL wildcard race tonight at 7:40 p.m. on Bally Sports versus the Milwaukee Brewers at the Brewers House. Will the Fish be in the wildcard this time next week? Tune in next time on Sideline. Go Fish!
See which South Florida team we're committing to amid a week with many playoff implications.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
This is something that I really want to do tribute to my parents. They were huge highlight fans when I was a kid, so this is tribute to them, and they're not here anymore, so it helps keep me close.
The world's fastest game continues to dazzle audiences in the Magic City. Sideline will take a timeout, and we'll be back in a moment.
Lawson Peel takes his first playoff win.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
The Magic City Casino is at the forefront of the revival of a former South Florida mainstay.
Highlights return to Miami crowd since 2017 has been one of trial and error. After losing his marquee attraction, dog racing, CEO Scott Savin took a gamble in bringing back the sport that many consider to be dead here in the States. I had the pleasure of speaking to the minds behind the Magic over the weekend.
After yet another successful opening night, it is safe to say that the players and management of Highlight alike are proud of the league's success, along with the brotherhood that they have formed as a result.
Man, it flew by, man. It was such a blessing, to go back to the start and really the end of 2017. 2018 was our first full year. To see the growth, we see all the sponsors right now. I mean, the court was white when we first started, man. It really is just a blessing, man. It's just to see how we all came together, just formed a camaraderie, a bond, from all the players to the coaches to Scott, the guy who was the mind, the brain trust behind this, man. It's really cool to see where we at now.
It's a great feeling. I mean, we haven't gotten to the top of the mountain yet. We're going to get there, but this is a sign that we're on our way. So it feels great. And like you said, Udonis in the house, Cornelius Bennett's in the house, packed place, so we're thrilled. No, that's the best thing of all. We still have 8 guys who started with us 6 years ago. They've turned into world-class highlight players, and that's what the program was all about. I mean, it started with the documentary Magic City Hustle, and quite honestly, everybody saw how bad they were, and if they come out now, they see what great professional athletes they've turned into.
I mean, for me, it's an amazing opportunity. I think with this platform that I've been given, it only makes sense to give back to the community that's given so much to me.